Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is Randall's Little Adventures, and of course, I'm Randall. Today, we're going to be discussing something that's not exactly what we'd call the sexiest part of prepping. Everybody likes to see guns and gear and all that kind of thing, and it is important. But without anything to eat, it becomes not so important. And so today, we're going to be discussing food storage. Now, the wife and I have been doing food storage for, I don't know, a couple of decades. And I'm pretty sure that we have made every single mistake that is possible to be made in food storage. I figured the best way to kind of go through this is to show you what I would consider the different levels of food storage. And there are different levels. And I'm going to try to maintain this to somebody who may be just getting started into food storage for emergencies and things of that situation. So I'm going to let you know the mistakes we did, and hopefully you don't fall into those pitfalls, and maybe give you some ideas to go forward. So, like most people that start in food storage for preparedness, the first thing we did is we'd go down to the grocery store and we would find something on sale. And if we found it on sale, we'd stock up on it. And we did this for some time, and we amassed this huge amount of canned goods. I mean, we lived in Hurricane Alley at the time. You never knew when power might be out for 2 or 3 weeks. So we bought all these canned goods. The problem is, as time went on, we didn't normally eat these canned goods. Like, I'm not an asparagus fan. We'll just use this as an example. And you find asparagus on sale for 25 cents a can. So guess what? We bought asparagus. Guess what we also didn't do? We didn't eat any asparagus whatsoever. Guess what happened? After about 5 years, we threw all the asparagus out. Huge financial, just shot ourselves right in the foot. And that's just one example. So in front of me here, we have a few examples. Like, we have some diced tomatoes. We got a can of chicken. Good old Chef Boyardee. I'm sorry, I still like that stuff. And a whole bunch of tuna fish. The issue is, you have to eat this stuff. If you do not eat it, do not buy it. If you're not eating Spam on a weekly basis, do not save up 10 cases of Spam. And you're like, but Randall, in the apocalypse, I'll be glad to eat some Spam. Won't we all? The problem is, if you open up your Spam 20 years from now, when the apocalypse theoretically happens, you're going to have some rancid crap. You can eat it if you want. I don't want it. So only stock food that you're going to eat on a weekly basis. And don't keep I consider this beginner 101 of food preservation. Buying canned goods for we're just going to call it the apocalypse, is not the best of ideas. So if you like a canned food, keep an open, like this comes in a case. Have an open one of these, and then buy another one and put it directly behind it. When you eat all this, move the brand new case forward, buy a new case, and put behind it. That's rotation. That way, you're constantly going through it. It always stays fresh, and you're good to go. This poor chicken right here, and I purposely grabbed this because we don't eat much chunk chicken. And well, it's still good this year. Amazing. I don't remember the last time we've had any chicken. But regardless, this is your entry level into food preparedness. Don't overbuy. Buy what you eat. Okay, so we have gotten through with all our canned supplies. It's all in place. We call that our extended pantry. And we only bought the stuff that we're going to eat on a full-time basis. And all that's going really well. Good. Let's move on to step 2. And step 2 is probably saving up some dried beans and rice and things of this nature. Now, it's been discussed, if you're a gardener, for 2 people, it's been averaged anywhere between 700 and 900 jars of food to get you through a year. That is a lot of jars. You put 700 jars on a shelf, and you've just got this enormous amount of space taken up full of jars. Why waste all that dead space? So as what we've started doing, is the wife picked this up. This is a vacuum sealer. This was a clean jar with a new lid. These are dried beans. We put these beans in this jar. You put this lid over it. Well, you got to take the ring off. Duh. You put the lid on it. You put this on top of the lid. This just has a little rubber gasket on it. And it's got a hole right here in the top. Put it over the hole. Make sure it's sealed. And it vacuum seals it down. You lift this off. That popped open. I'm going to show y'all. Yeah, that wasn't sealed real good. These are dried beans. They're good. It's actually is a good opportunity. Hopefully, yeah, they smell fine. Just making sure. Hopefully I charged this up enough because it was dead as a hammer. It's running fairly slow. Oh, it's suctioned on there. Let's see if it worked. Perfectly sealed. We're going to put the ring on it. Beans are back in the jar. And we did this with rice and beans. Why store 700 empty jars when you can put dried food in them and seal them? And you eat it, and you wash the jar, and you put it up and get it ready for your harvest season. So that's how we kind of combine 2 things to save space. And it works great. Rice like this will last, either one of these will last for literally years and years and years. So this is step, what I would call 2, into getting yourself prepared. All right, here we are at step 3, actually canning real food. So we use a pressure canner. Some food items can be water bath canned, if you're familiar with what that is. But most everything can be pressure canned. We made these in large batches. We've got some beans. And this one, we have some onion soup. Delicious. And this one, we had a cow slaughtered for the last couple of years, and we keep the bones. And from those bones, we make homemade beef broth. So that's what this is beef broth. My grandmother canned everything. They ate all winter off of what they got out of their garden each year. I remember as a kid that canner going for weeks. It's just a simple way of living. It's a healthy way of living. And step 3, can your own food. And you can do this year after year after year. This stuff will easily last a year or two. But really, if you do it right, you should have almost all your canned food eaten by the harvest time of the next year. So this is step 3. You're getting pretty good if you made it to step 3. So here we are. It basically, you've got all your canned food. You've learned how to grow a garden. You're canning your vegetables every year. But it's only good for 1 year. You want some stuff long term. Here we go. Long term, up to 25 years in food storage. This is all freeze-dried food. Let's see, I believe we have beef crumbles. We have egg. And this can is of hard white wheat. There's countless things that you can get in number 10 cans. This stuff is most of it is freeze-dried in the cans. And it's really pretty heavy. Like this can of wheat is extremely heavy. Now, keep in mind that if you store things like this, especially like the wheat, you have to have a grain mill in order to process. This comes as the actual wheat berry. It's not flour. You have to make your own flour. So keep that in mind. If you buy something like this and you open it in 15 years because the Armageddon's hit, there's not going to be flour. You're going to have a whole bunch of wheat berries. But these items, and is limited only to your imagination. There's butter, there's vegetables, there's onions, there's oatmeal. Everything you can think of comes in these jars. One of the better places that we had got a lot of our stuff was the church LDS. They had a huge warehouse, and I believe it is in Conroe, Texas. And you can either buy it or you can actually volunteer there, and they set you up on an assembly line actually canning this stuff. And you can get a discount. Now, this has been years ago. It might have completely changed. I know they also, poor people that are just down on their luck and unfortunate but want to work, they will exchange food for basically day labor. They have a bunch of churches, a bunch of grounds. You might be out there with a lawnmower, mow some yards, and they'll load you up on some food. It's just an even trade. It's fair. But this is what I would consider the final stage of food storage. You know, canned food's only going to take you so far. It's going to go bad. Jarred food is not really considered long-term food storage. That is just year after year after year. You're going to can food every year. This is quite expensive, first off, but you put it on a shelf and wait for the apocalypse that we hope never comes. So I kind of fibbed to y'all. There's a whole nother level that I almost forgot. The large food storage. How could I forget this? In this one, it's marked V beans. I don't know. My wife, we've got all kinds of different beans. There's beans. Victory beans? I don't know. We win? Victory? Not sure. But we've had these on the shelf for, I don't know, 10 plus years. They're going to be good until we're pretty much dead. So, is all we did for these buckets. These beans are in Mylar bags, and we sealed the Mylar with oxygen absorbers, put the lid on it. They're sealed up. They're good basically forever. Oh my goodness. Inside of those buckets, we've got elbow macaroni, salt, sugar, multiple kinds of beans, rice. We even have buckets of spice, because beans and rice every day is a meal. While you're going to be glad to be eating something, you're going to want a little spice in your life, or that's going to get pretty old pretty quick. We have cornmeal stored in buckets. Just lots of different options. So I guess that would be level 5. Once you get to that point, it's all about rotation. Now, the last two things, the number 10 cans and the buckets, are pretty much out of the rotation. That's your long-term food storage. That just sits on a shelf in a nice climate-controlled environment. You don't want it to get hot and then cold and hot and cold. You want to keep that climate pretty well maintained. But the rest of it's just rotating. It's not that hard. And there's a lot of other ways food storage. I'm sure we're leaving out the dehydration. There's the freeze dryers. We decided not to go the freeze dryer route. One, it's pretty expensive. Even the electricity to operate them is quite a bit of electricity. Two, they're bulky. I don't really have anywhere to store it. I'm doing good to store anything as it is. And it's not something, we don't have huge gardens yet. We have started a garden, but we don't have this massive garden where we can keep a freeze dryer busy. It's not doable for us, but it might be definitely doable for you. We've played around with dehydrating different things, and I just decided to skip it. Not saying it's not viable, it just wasn't for us. So, how do you fit inside of that food storage level? Are you just getting started? Have you got that whole pantry full of canned goods of pumpkin spice filler that you couldn't eat in 47 Thanksgivings? Let me know down in the comments. But as always, I hope y'all have a great day, and we will see you next time. Y'all take care.